bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling like 2 a.m. summer night. I don't care, hands on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling the Midwest side now, living my life, getting out jeans. People told me slow my roll, I'm screaming out, fuck that, I'm gonna do just what I want, and there ain't no turning back. If I fall, if I die, know I lived it to the fullest. If I fall, if I die, know I lived it missing.
Hey, what's up, you guys? David. What this video is going to be about is when I tried committing suicide back in 2010. And the way it all started was, I guess I was at my grandmother's 90-something birthday party, and I was visiting my cousin in the back house, right? Well, I guess, like, at the time I first became Christian, and I guess, like, he was kind of making fun of some of the music I was listening to. I was like, whatever. So we ended up going to my grandma's house right in the front. And I remember I was stepping on the side door to go inside, and I stepped off one of the steps, right? Well, there was this voice previous to that I said, I don't think he's afraid of me. I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not, you know? And I remember, like, when I went on that step, it's like something pulled me, and I twisted my ankle, and I broke a bone in my foot, right? So I guess that night, I was in the ER, and I was prescribed a bunch of, like, pain pills, like Vicodin and ibuprofen. And I guess, maybe like 2 nights after that, I remember I was hanging out with my mother in my apartment, and I remember, like, I took all the pills, right? I guess there was this voice saying that it was God, and that he wanted to make it so, like, it was painless this time, because he tried to have me commit suicide maybe a couple weeks before that by drinking gasoline. And yeah, so I guess I took all the pills, and I remember I was laying down in bed, and I was on my phone, and I was looking up, like, what the what could I expect out of, like, overdosing on Vicodins and things like that. And I guess what it stated, though, was that, like, pretty much I'd fall asleep and wouldn't wake up, and that, like, I guess, like, so I took them, right? And I was laying down in bed. I remember my eyes shut, but then as soon as they shut, they opened wide up, right? So I spent the whole night in my room just waiting around to die. And I guess, yeah, maybe about, like, 3 or 4 in the morning, like, I got up to go smoke a cigarette. And I guess when I was smoking a cigarette, I felt like really dizzy, and there was, like, this presence of, like, this huge beast waiting to take me. I was like, oh, fuck this shit, man, fuck you, you know? And I was like, whatever the fuck. So I went back inside, and I guess around 8 o'clock, well, not around 8, it was more like 7, I remember I leaned over my bed, and I started puking very quietly, right, because I didn't want my mother to know. And after that happened, my sister got up, and she's like, Mom, and, like, I'm outside smoking another cigarette, and I guess, like, at the time I had thought that I burned a hole in my stomach, because I ended up taking at least, like, 40 pills that night, you know? I took, like, 40 pills that night. Probably, like, 30 of them were Vicodin, while the other ones were ibuprofen. So I don't know if that kind of matched up, like, sort of like the swelling or whatever the fuck, you know? Yeah, but, so I guess it was kind of miraculous how I lived that night. But then again, like, I'm not really too sure what could have happened. Because, I mean, yeah, I did think I burned a hole in my stomach, but then I guess, like, after I told my mother, she's like, oh my god, David, what the fuck? And yeah, just like, they took me to, like, the ER again, and, like, yeah, I was, like, laying down in the hospital bed, and that's when I got evaluated, and I got admitted into psychiatric ward. Oh shit. Yeah, fuck this. Nah, but as far as the whole voice claiming that it was God, though, really what it was a bunch of bad angels trying to fucking do me dirty. Because I guess at that point I turned my back on them and I became Christian, and I was actually looking to bring them down, you know, which I live up to concern date, you know. So it's just but as far as my work in the Lord, though, it's pretty much come to a halt. Like, I think as much as God's capability of establishing Himself in this world, it's kind of like at a disposition. Because I guess when you consider Leviathan and Satan, Lucifer, the devil, demons, and just their overall capability, right? Wouldn't it make more sense that the devil has some sort of, like, not leverage, but some sort of pull away from God in order to administer whatever he's trying to do or conduct himself in? Because, I mean, in reality, I think God's capable of doing so many things, but it's beyond his own apathy that he's unable to conduct himself. Say if there's, like, a translucent shape that's kind of eminent to how it, like, Kamala says, you know, say if it's like primal within God, and he can't quite penetrate or conduct himself within the manner of that shape or premise, you know. So that's pretty much the whole ideology and the idea behind all that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I know I fulfilled it to a certain extent, and yeah, I know people that have claimed that they have not murdered, that they killed Lucifer, and but I mean, either way, he keeps on being brought back, you know. And I've done this a number of times. There's this guy named Urshel I was trying to kill, and I killed him a bunch of times, but really he keeps on coming back. So whatever situates that is what pretty much alleviates, or what gives them like pathway to, I guess you could say, the whole consequence of like what's being overall held against them, you know. So it's just it was really weird like that, but in reality, I think I'm done. I think I've established enough, I've recruited enough, and in reality, it's kind of like if God's unable to, but my whole idea behind this was that I guess through certain methods, based on principalities, we would be able to protect ourselves or distance ourselves away from it as much as possible, from whatever maybe withholding or kind of concealing certain, conundrums amongst us, you know. As far as like what we hold as decrees or declarations or something declarative amongst us. But pretty much I've distanced myself as much as I possibly could from it, and it's still a burden upon me. But in reality, it's kind of like, I don't know. But I mean, considering our current situation, the whole absence or presence of God, as minimal or as maximized as it may seem or be, it's like one thing that I described in my Spirit Sense videos was that, let's say we all lack something of our senses, much like a blind or deaf person has a lack of or inability to see or hear. And I guess in that premise, I mean, for all I know, God could be standing right in front of my face, but due to my inability, I can't quite see, and it's whatever my mind picks up on that I'm able to grasp or kind of take note of, you know. For all I know, it's like it's like a physical and mental game, you know, as if like we could alter our reality with some mind-altering thought, but in reality, I think things are well established within this premise that it's kind of restrained within a certain stronghold, you know, as if we're determined to be in this place and time, considering the whole renomical of what's ultimately taking place here, you know. So it's just, I think that's the duality of it, and in that note, and on that notion, I think we're well taken care of in that sense. You know, so it's just it's nothing but a spiritual battle, really, in reality. You know, I guess we kind of created our own reality by being here in this environment, or in this under these circumstances. We kind of realtered our direction, and I think we're headed on the right path. So yeah, I guess that's it.